Madam Tracy Ohiri has broken down in tears as she publicly apologized to Nigerians for accepting 110 million naira from former Ebonyi State Governor Dave Umahi, the current Minister of Works. In an emotional statement, she explained that she could no longer continue with the case, revealing that it had dragged on for 12 years. According to her, she believed the matter would keep being prolonged using taxpayers' money, leaving her with no choice but to accept the settlement. Let's see the footage.
Body, we have a voice. Everybody's voice will count. Am I supposed to be fighting people who will use the taxpayers' money to fight me back? Am I supposed to drain my business capital that I'm using to manage my life and that of my family to fight someone in power? And at the end of the day, I might not still get justice, because even the people that will give the justice, they've built houses for them and they have them in their pockets. I had to look at what was going on, the corruption that was staring me in the face. And I have to accept an offer that shouldn't be in the first place. I'm truly very sorry. I've not been myself. I'm not happy about it. It was not easy for me. All my life, I stood firm to condemn corruption, to speak against injustice, to fight for the oppressed. So how then can I come, after waiting for 12 years, to go off at the end? But looking at the situation that was facing me, I had no other choice but to succumb to the offer in order to collect what is rightfully mine. Nigerians, please, let's not fail ourselves. Come 2027. Please, let's not fail ourselves.
Welcome back. If you are just joining, it's Trending O'Clock. This is where we'll talk about all the trending and juicy gist on the internet, and of course, give our opinions about them. I am Mercy Erabo. And of course, you know, once it's trending, I can never be alone in the studio. Who is joining us this beautiful morning? No other person but Mr. Michael Gobadia. Or maybe we should go M to the I to the C to the H.
No, it's Michael Gobadia. That's okay for me.
Mr. Michael, thank you so much for joining me on
Well, it's always a pleasure
morning.
joining, especially when we have to talk about stories that are trending on the social media.
Of course. Thank you so much. Without wasting much of our time, let's dive straight into our stories for today. Protesters stormed Igbinejo Education Center in Edo State following a bully incident that sparked widespread outrage. A viral video of the incident, which began circulating on Friday, shows the students allegedly being harassed and bullied by fellow students, raising serious concerns about safety in the school. By yesterday, angry protesters gathered at the school premises, demanding justice for the victim and calling for stricter disciplinary measures. Once again, this brings the issue of bullying in schools into sharp focus, with growing demands for better protection of students. Yes, I know we've been seeing the whole video. We saw the videos of the bully, quite disturbing video of this student being bullied in the school premises and all of that. And yes, we got an update that the students have been expelled from the school, but protesters felt like, no, we need to be sure that these people have really been expelled. We need to be sure, because, you know, when it comes to cases of the high class people feel like justice might not really prevail. So they wanted to be sure, and they went there to protest, and all of these things happened yesterday, and now it's really raising concerns on the internet about bullying in school, especially the boarding school. And then I tend to ask myself, where are the people meant to protect these children? Where are the people? If it's happening in the hostels, they ought to have hostel masters and mistress and all of that.
Matrons.
Of course. So where are these people when these things are going on? If it happens in the classrooms, where were the class teachers and all of that? Where are the members of staff when these bullies are going on in school? It's not the first time we keep hearing about bullies in school. We could remember the late Sylvester that died out of bully and all of that. Still going on, bullies in school. This is a very sad event, Mr. Michael.
Yeah, a very sad and disturbing one, and one that I'm happy, at least the step being taken by the school itself. I could still remember the summer of Benin himself had to wade into the issue when it came into light, and I remembered he also instructed those students to be expelled, and which was more like a directive from the Edo State government.
Yes.
But what we are waiting for now is for further investigation, because the Commissioner of Education in the Edo State, Afebua, had insisted that more investigation should be conducted for more to be revealed. And funny enough, even a 5-man committee was raised to investigate more as it concerns that very incident, and quite really disturbing. But this highlights what has been happening in most boarding schools for many years. If you attended a boarding school, you definitely agree with me that bullying is a form of instilling discipline from a higher to a lower class. But like we've said, it is outdated, it is senseless, and it has indeed caused a whole lot of pain on these kids. But if you really watch that viral video, you understand the extent of inhumanity. A young child like that being unhuman to another child. He was even dragging him on the ground. It's really quite a disturbing video, and I'm just happy with the steps that have already been taken, and more needs to be done to end this barbaric act.
And this, I feel, raises concerns about instilling discipline in children. You hear people saying, I think I told somebody this. I said, my own kids, I will flog them. So you see this, the gang of, we do not use cane, we do not use rod.
But even if you don't use cane and rod, how come the children know how to use it?
We do not use all of that on our kids. Please tell your children to avoid my children. Because I personally would instill discipline. Because when you say things like this, then you wonder, what exactly have the parents taught these children? What have they been doing? How come this kid has the idea of bullying somebody else? Has this child really been brought up with love and all of this? And these are questions that will just keep coming through your head and all of that. I feel like even the parents should be brought in for questioning. The parents of the children.
But the best thing to do is what I felt have already been done. And the major thing is to expel, investigate more, and bring these children in for more questioning.
Of course,
that's
of
the
course.
best thing to do.
Well, this makes the story a developing story, and once we get more updates concerning the story, we'll definitely bring them to you. Away from that very disturbing story, the police has detained 6 officers in Anambra State over allegations of extorting a trader of 200,000 naira. According to reports, the officers allegedly forced the trader to part with the money under questionable circumstances, sparking outrage and renewed concerns about misconduct within the force. Authorities say the officers involved have been taken into custody as investigations are currently ongoing. This development has once again raised serious concerns about abuse of power and the need for stricter oversight within the law enforcement. And now, do you think this is enough being done? Like, is enough now being done? It seems like they're beginning to hear our cry every day we come here to talk about the Nigerian police force. It seems now they're beginning to, because for some time now we've been hearing arrests, detainments, and all of that being made within the Nigerian police force. And it seems like they're beginning to hear our voice finally. And remember this very story, the woman came out to narrate how her husband was extorted, and you know the funniest part, when they want to extort these people, they try to act like they're very smart by trying to use POS operators and all of that, because they feel like they might trace it, so they want to use. But even with all of that, they were still able to trace them. Why? Due to the viral video. And that's why most times we don't really blame people. When you hear people saying when extorting somebody, instead of going there to fight for them, you are rather taking a phone, you want to make videos. Well, this very story, I feel like it's even this very video that we saw and that brought everything into light. And now this 6 officers have now been arrested and investigations are currently ongoing. Mr. Michael, what do you think about this?
You remember I told you on this very platform that the coming of the new Inspector General of Police will definitely bring about new change. Especially as it concerns the conduct of the men of the Nigerian police force. So it's no surprise to me, though, that this has really come into light. And it goes to show you how really corrupt some of these police officers that are made to ensure that law and order is being followed. Just imagine taking 200,000 from a trader.
I'm not sure that would even be up to the profit.
Would that be enough for his profit for a week, a month? You don't know. It shows how really criminal-minded some of these law enforcement agents are. And I'm really happy that these evil and rotten eggs are being expunged from the Nigerian police force. If we can have that force really being clean, sanitized, and discipline and credibility returned, then you start seeing Nigerians having that belief, at least, that indeed police
is your friend. I feel like the reform of an accent off is finally coming due to the this new IGP of police. Hopefully. We hope that we finally get the reform, and we want to see more arrests because we know we have lots and lots of bad eggs within that very force, so we want to see more arrests. Well, this is another developing story as investigations are ongoing, and we'll definitely give you more updates as soon as they come. Away from that story, a married woman identified as Joy has been found dead in a hotel room after reportedly going to meet a man she met online. According to reports, Joy was a small business owner based in Lagos, living with her husband and 2 children. She was said to have been in contact with an unidentified man she met on the internet. Details surrounding her death remain unclear at this point, but the incident has raised serious concerns about safety when meeting people online. Authorities are expected to investigate the circumstances leading to her death, as many await answers on what really happened. Oh my goodness, this is a very sad story, sad and disturbing. And this very picture, we could see her having her marriage band on the middle finger. That is the engagement finger rather than the marriage finger. That's to tell you what this woman really feels like. You're a married woman, for crying out loud. You just feel like you want to do things like this. And I think from what I read, she even lied to the man that she's a single mother suffering with her children, and then she even took one of the kids to this very place to see a man that you met online. And every day we come here to talk about young girls, even advising young girls that you do not go to a strange man you met online. You do not go to see them in enclosed places. You should rather go in open spaces and all of that, and then try to go with somebody, at least somebody that could fight for you if needed. But now you're going with a baby, and this is a married woman. Like, I do not even know what to say about this story, but the moment I just saw it, I just felt like no, this is what we're talking about, infidelity. And now I feel like when she meets her maker, what would she say when she finally gets to meet her maker? God will ask her, I gave you a husband, then how come you came back too soon because of infidelity? Many questions waiting for her to answer, Mr. Michael.
Now, the truth about it is, these are ladies that did the local, like we call it, runs. But when now married, they are forgetting that they are now married, and let old things pass away, and old or new, old becomes new. It is quite a clear narrative of how some women, married women, have become unfaithful to their partners. This goes for both sex, both women and men. Let's not take it out. But it is quite even far more disturbing that you have to carry your child along. Because with what we learned, that he told the guy that he was bringing the child, and the guy even promised, with chats they saw on her phone, that the guy even promised going to buy things for the babies. You can't be married and lie that you're married. This also brings us to the issue of the social media and how much of a harm it has done. Married, if you are married, still please remain married. Infidelity pays nobody any good. And now, like you said, only God knows what you'll be telling the maker as it stands. But the honest thing, what I'm more concerned about is not where she has gone. That's her business. I'm only concerned about the child that's immersed in this madness, the disappointments that the parents of this lady will feel, and the existing child that has now lost a mother and either a brother or a sister.
This is a very sad and disturbing story, and the sisterhood is never proud of this. Like we always say, when we see things like this, it just makes us feel like, well, thank God Mr. Michael did not give us enough bashing.
No, I'm not ready to bash. This is quite annoying. This is not a female, a male thing. This is just sick and somebody being too unfaithful up to the very end.
Well, we hope that the unidentified man gets identified in the process, and we're still praying to God that we hope that that the child is safe. So this is making the story another developing story. Once we get more updates, we'll definitely bring them to you. Away from that very story, Madam Tracy Ohiri has broken down in tears as she publicly apologized to Nigerians for accepting 110 million naira from former Ebonyi State Governor Dave Umahi, the current Minister of Works. In an emotional statement, she explained that she could no longer continue with the case, revealing that it had dragged on for 12 years. According to her, she believed the matter would keep being prolonged using taxpayers' money, leaving her with no choice but to accept the settlement. Let's see the footage.
Body, we have a voice. Everybody's voice will count. Am I supposed to be fighting people who will use the taxpayers' money to fight me back? Am I supposed to drain my business capital that I'm using to manage my life and that of my family, to fight someone in power? And at the end of the day, I might not still get justice, because even the people that will give the justice, they've built houses for them and they have them in their pockets. I had to look at what was going on, the corruption that was staring me in the face. And I have to accept an offer that shouldn't be in the first place. I'm truly very sorry. I've not been myself. I'm not happy about it. It was not easy for me. All my life, I stood firm to condemn corruption, to speak against injustice, to fight for the oppressed. So how then can I come after waiting for 12 years to go off at the end? But looking at the situation that was facing me, I had no other choice but to succumb to the offer in order to collect what is rightfully mine. Nigerians, please, let's not fail ourselves. Come 2027. Please, let's not fail ourselves. Let's not fail ourselves.
Reaction has sparked mixed responses online, with Nigerians expressing sympathy for her. Yes, we know she came out at first to apologize to David Umahi, and then we saw the backlash she got on internet when a whole lot of persons came out to say, well, we helped you drag this very person, and now you're creating, or you've created this form of enmity between ourselves and this person who helped you drag, because we felt pity for you, and now you're coming out to apologize to the person, to the said person, and telling us to mind our business and you want to face your life. So now I feel like she felt like, okay, I think it's right that I come to apologize to Nigerians and all of that. But still, I'm still not convinced. She has not really said anything. Like what I am waiting to hear, she hasn't really said it. I don't know all of this whole thing she's coming out to say. I had to accept it because I do not want him stressing me further. This whole thing has prolonged for 12 years. You knew all of these things before you came out in the first place to talk about the issue. Now, all of a sudden, you're tired of prolonging these issues because you feel like it has lasted for 12 years. At this point, I am still confused. I am not convinced, Mr. Michael.
She begged us to keep quiet. I'll keep quiet. That's what she begged us to do now.
We are not going to keep quiet because that's why
your apology
some people
for me are accepted. But the truth about it is, you've collected the money. I'll keep quiet now.
Okay, that's all. Okay,
that's all.
interesting.
Keep quiet.
But it just makes me feel like so many persons, when they have real issues and they come on social media to talk about it, a whole lot of persons might not see any reason to help talk about
was there a need
issue.
dragging it like this? He requested from me, I did not give him. He did this, he did that. You know, there was this quite very unnecessary ways of really looking at this. There were other civil, more certain way of addressing it. Yes, you can go to court and say, okay, it will drag on for long. But you can also involve social media in that issue of it being dragged for long. You can involve them. You can I'm going to court. He's owing me money for 12 years. He has to pay. We'll go to that route and we'll follow you on that stand. But not all those drama that played out, this and that. In the meetings, you were there, you were crying, you needed this from me. The body didn't give. He was saying, she's not like Miss Ward that will die. You know, there was no need for all those dramas. Just go, get your money, and go out. So,
and now it's why I am pained is that they started the drama with us. They took us to the climax. And now when it got to the point of the anti-climax, then they asked us to mind our business. Like, I was supposed to be part of the settlement process. Let me just know how the whole thing started.
I agree with you. You know, Messi, you have enough time to go around to look at people settling.
Exactly. That's why we do trending. That's why we do trending. But now she's asking us to mind our business. It's very sad. And I feel like it will discourage a whole lot of persons that would love to talk
but
about
please, madam,
issues.
Next time he's owing you, don't come to meet us.
Exactly, exactly, and
Well,
hope you've settled this thing.
We might be minding our business.
I hope this might be like the last video we'll get from you, because now it's now like you're becoming a content creator. I even noticed the
3.72 likes.
Exactly. So I hope this is where we draw the curtain. You don't come back to tell us or give us more updates regarding these very issues. Well, guys, I think this story is no longer a developing story, as she has received her money, and then that is the end of the movie.
And there might be one last one when they come to shake for peace. They've not shaken.
No, that's the end of the movie. We don't want to see more seasons to this very movie. Away from that very story, a Lagos-based woman, Osarabo Odige, has filed a lawsuit against popular TikTok streamer Habib Hamzat, also known as Peller, demanding 395 million naira in damages. According to reports, the lawsuit stems from an incident at a restaurant where the two had a clash, which was allegedly filmed and shared online by the streamer. Osarabo claims the video led to defamation, cyber harassment, and an invasion of her privacy, sparking a legal battle that has now caught public attention. Many Nigerians are now weighing in on the responsibilities of social media influencers when it comes to filming and sharing real-life encounters. Yes, we did this very story on that very day, and I actually said Peller did a very wrong thing for trying to body shame her,
very uncivil in his attitude.
Exactly. And then I think after then he made a video. He apologized to this very lady, and this whole thing has been on for a while, like about a month or two. But how come she's now coming out now from nowhere, out of the blue? She's coming out now to say she wants to.
There was cyberbullying, harassment, emotional torture. She said all of the reasons that she's coming out now. So but I really want to know which of them. Is it the emotional? Anyway.
Most times I just feel like Nigerians will do too much. Like, he has apologized to you and this whole issue we felt like had ended, but now you're coming back again to say you want to sue him because of this same issues. Like, nobody has been talking about her. So this whole cyber harassment and all of that, nobody has been harassing her. This thing happened long ago and we talked about it, I think that very day, the next day. And after then, nobody talked about this issue again. Peller went outside to apologize to her and all of that. But now she's coming to say she wants to sue. Well,
for me, it's more like letting these social influencers that should know best, know better on how to conduct themselves, especially when they're on live stream, to do so. It's quite sick to see you insult people all in the name of, like, come on, I'm an influencer, I'm rich, and all of that. You know, Peller have always been having issues as it concerns his conduct, and I'll just wish this would just definitely put an end to his unruly attitude sometimes.
Yeah.
It's quite annoying, quite childish, and do forgive my language, quite embarrassing and unacceptable.
Yes, and I feel like when you're in a public space and the people your there are not comfortable with your conduct, I feel like you should know what to do. You should do better rather than filming her, insulting her, and all of that.
And looking at her
I
slippers,
feel like this might,
that white slippers.
Yeah, you
looking
remember
at her.
You even
dress.
remember the color.
Yeah, I still remember. I've even looking at the way she was putting on her this thing. He was even saying she was not fat enough.
I hope after this trending, you do not
it's what Peller said. I'm saying. I'm only narrating it.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. No, he said. No, allegedly. He said. I saw it now.
Okay, you saw it, right? Yeah. Anyways, I'm not part of this. We are still saying, Peller, what you did is wrong. What is wrong is wrong. Well, we hope that this whole thing is being resolved amicably. We do not want more issues to trend about, because this issue, we've talked about it long ago. Well, this is where we'll have to wrap it up right here on Trending. We've had an amazing time, interesting stories, and all thanks to Mr. Michael Gobaje for always making it quite enjoyable.
Well, anyway, I'm also happy being here, and I'm happy some of the stories are still developing. So we might come here and develop
more, right?
Minus the boy. Okay, well, anyway.
Anyways, thank you so much, Mr. Michael. Of course, you know, you can be part of this fun. You can be part of the discussion. You can reach us through the social media platforms displaying on your screen right now. This is where I have to tell you that I will see you for another super exciting edition. Same time tomorrow. I remain Mercy Erabo. Have a blessed day.